Season almost in the books, and we're here for all of it. I'm David Lloyd, Kevin Connors, our man Herman Edwards to dice it up. We're going to tell you who's in, who's out, and who's going where for Wild Card Weekend.
Right, and there were a whole lot of complicated scenarios that could have played out. Who's going to play who? We know everything in the AFC right now. It is Broncos going to Buffalo a week from today. Steelers, Ravens, that NFC North clash ought to be a great one. The teams split their meetings during the regular season. Chargers, Texans as well. The Bolts were 3-3, and then they had that red-hot finish to the season. But let's show you how it got to be Denver and Buffalo. Herm, Broncos, Chiefs today. And what a compliment to Cortland Sutton Marvin Mims has become.
Yes, and you think about this Denver team. This didn't surprise me. Obviously, the Chiefs, elected not to play their starters, which was the right thing to do. They 15-1. They needed to do that. But the Denver Broncos, they needed to play like this to gain even more confidence going into the playoffs. Can't say enough about Sean Payton, getting this team in the playoffs. So it's really good.
They're going Lindsey Theory with Marvin Mims following the win.
Marvin, the first playoff appearance for you guys, now clinched since 2015. Can you describe the emotion from this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge accomplishment for everybody on this team. Me being in my second year, it's big for me, but guys like Cortland Sutton, Garrett Bowles have been here, since, that 2015, after that year. But just for the whole team, the franchise, organization, just to be back in the playoffs, Denver Broncos is such a good organization in the NFL and so much history behind it. So just to be back is a huge accomplishment for us.
Your rookie quarterback, Bo Nix, nearly perfect today. What were you seeing from him?
Yeah, he was comfortable. He's ready to go. I mean, he wanted more than anybody out there, and he's been having one hell of a season. So just for him to come out here and put it on the show again, I mean, it was a huge game for him. And, when he plays good, all of us play good. So he's kind of our motor, and our offense keeps going.
Marvin, 2 touchdowns for you today. How have you kind of turned it up the second half of the season?
Yeah, just being ready for the opportunity. The first half was kind of slow, but the second half I got my number called more and just making the most of my opportunity. The more you do that, the more coaches will draw stuff up for you. And ever since then, we've been rolling. Guys are making the most of their moments, and we got to sniff at the playoff opportunity, and now here we are.
Next up, the Buffalo Bills. How do you guys prepare?
Yeah, we're going to have to prepare really well. They're playing good football, earn their second seed. We're going to go up to Buffalo. We know how Bills Mafia is, but really excited to go back up there. We were up there last year, but really excited for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The legend of Bills Mafia only grows, and the Broncos entered the season with the second longest odds to make the playoffs, according to ESPN Bet. How about the fact that this is Denver's first trip to the postseason since winning Super Bowl 50? What a drought. New on SportsCenter, Broncos head coach Sean Payton.
Look, obviously, an important game for us. Getting to the 10th win and putting ourselves now in a position to play in the postseason. It's always challenging and it happens time to time at the end of the season when you're not sure. Maybe a team that you're playing, and I thought our players did a good job of focusing on the things they could control. I can recall coming here 5 years ago, COVID, and none of your quarterbacks were playing. And those are the things that drive coaches crazy, and so this week is difficult because, the expectations obviously are high and you want to make sure that you come out. And so we talked about it during the week, we really tried to focus on the process, but tune out like who might be or who might not be playing. We can't control that. And I meant what I said when I talked about Andy's team earning the right to do what they needed to do. Every one of us that's coaching a team in the postseason is trying to do what we feel like is going to help our team have the best chance of success. So we came out fast, played well in a lot of areas. Quarterback really got on a heater, and we'll go from there. So any questions?
Yeah, Sean, backup Chiefs or not, there's still a lot of pressure on you guys. Could you talk about how your rookie quarterback thrived, it seemed like, in a pressure game here?
Felt like he was seeing the field well. Obviously, we played well up front. We had decent balance. We converted a lot of third downs, so that kept us on the field. The time of possession mattered. in that, I don't know, we had one drive, it felt like it lasted forever. But you got to be converting third downs or fourth downs. I can't recall many times today, going to that third and long box. So even when we were on third down, it was manageable. Yeah, I mean, he's seen the field well. Gave him some spontaneous plays, like at the line of scrimmage, just to go run. He handled that well. But overall, I was pleased.
Coach, you've talked about your expectations for this team versus external expectation. Just wondering the pride you feel in this group, kind of looking back from the start of the season to now in terms of what they've accomplished.
I think, look, good question. I think, and it wasn't just from a draft or just from free agency, but young and hungry can sometimes be pretty dangerous. And I think that, most NFL seasons are filled with, highs and lows. And can you, do you have the grit and the fortitude to weather the lows? 0-2 going on the road. We got to get a win at Tampa. That was an important stretch, that East Coast swing. And then when you can have some success, then you can have some confidence, and then it becomes something that can repeat itself. It's hard to have confidence if you haven't really demonstrated it yet. And so we began to see young players thrive in certain positions. Some veterans, some key veterans come in and fill in roles for us. So it was a number of different transactions that worked out, and I'm proud of them.
Coach, a very important win for this season.
All right, so Sean Payton saying that his team came out fast, that his quarterback, Bo Nix, was on a heater. He had one incompletion in that first half. Herman, was a big deal when Denver went out to get Sean Payton to try to bring this team back. What's been the most impressive aspect of getting that team there?
Well, I can remember his first year there, and they played the Miami Dolphins. They got beat 70-20. 70 in the National Football League is a lot of points. Mm-hmm. And from that day forward, you watch this team grow and mature. And now all of a sudden it's in the playoffs. Think about the division they play in. This division is similar now to the NFC North. There's 3 teams coming out of this division going to the playoffs. The Denver Broncos, the Chargers, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So kudos to Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, to this organization. He gets them in the playoffs. Bo Nix, obviously, has done a fabulous job. We know Coach Payton has a quarterback whisperer. Mm-hmm. He's whispering some good things to Bo Nix because he's playing really good and his team's playing well.
And don't forget Jim Harbaugh on the job he's done.
Exactly
in his
right.
First year with the Chargers, he's got a nice young quarterback in Justin Herbert, and all of a sudden they're in the postseason as well.
So all of a sudden, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you're sitting there going, we won, we're 15, but you know what? There's 2 other teams here now that are gonna challenge us a little bit more in this division.
We'll see how it all plays out. I wanted to take a look at the NFC now, if we could, and just basically show you what we're looking at for next week. Oh, we want to talk about the Ravens. Because they're playing their first round, their wild card matchup against their old friends, the Steelers. The Steelers have lost 4 in a row. They're not going well going into this matchup. Of course, Lamar Jackson, as great as he's been in the regular season, the question always is, what are we going to get out of him in the postseason?
Well, hopefully, the way he is playing right now, the last month, a month ago, I would have said Josh Allen is the MVP. As I sit today, it's Lamar Jackson. Not even close. And the way this team is playing collectively, when you watch them, offensively, they run the ball well. Lamar Jackson's throwing the ball well. They have 2 big dynamic tight ends that they get the ball to. Henry is a part of this. Their defense is coming together. The only thing that scares me now about the Baltimore Ravens is this. The Baltimore Ravens play against the Ravens at times. They have 132 penalties.
You don't like that as a coach, I know that.
That is, when you get in the playoffs, that could come back to bite you. They lead the league in fouls. They have 132 of them. It's a lot of penalties. But other than that, whoa, you don't want to play the Baltimore Ravens right now.
They won 4 in a row, final 4 games of the year after the loss to Philadelphia, and they've gone over 30 points in every one of those games. The Steelers side of things, I know you're concerned a bit about their ability to score points.
They are struggling. They haven't scored 20 points in a month. Right? And you talked about the losses in a row. Their defense is hanging in there, because the Steelers play sometimes ugly football. You know, they can play games where they kick 4 field goals and win, but you're not going to be able to do that in the playoffs with some of the teams and the quarterbacks you're going to face. That's going to be their problem if they can't score points.
All right, that's the AFC. Let's take a look.